Is this working? Let's see. No. Says I'm streaming, so I'm not getting out of it, because if I get out of it, it'll restart. Okay, so hopefully this works. Hopefully this works. All right. Well, we're just going to sit here for a minute until we hit 4 o'clock and see if it will, if it's working. I can't tell if it's working. Oh, well, it says we're live. It says we're streaming. Okay, let's see. Ah, I see. Oh no. Alrighty, where are... One of these days, I'm gonna get good at this. I am. I'm gonna get good at this. Oh my gosh. Oh no. This might be a problem. All right, we're going to switch something here. We're going to switch cameras, and I'm going to do something real fast so that I can be ready. Hopefully. Oh, it's working? Is it? Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you, Diane, for texting me, because from my side, it doesn't look like it's working. And I'm trying to sign in so that, okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you said that. All right, then we're just going to use this camera. And my issue is that I can't see like comments. So I will just turn it on my phone so that I can see y'all's comments, because right now I cannot. It's because, right, but we're gonna turn it off. There we go. Hi, there you are. Now I can see comments. Okay, awesome. Phew, I'm starting to sweat, literally. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm glad it's working. Wow, I was, yeah, I was starting to freak out a little bit. Could you tell? Oh, thank you so much for texting me. Saving the day. I really appreciate it. Oh, I'm nervous about this. And in the past, I've had issues with these lives. So that was, yeah, let me make sure that, okay. Goodness, goodness, goodness. All right, cool. Thank you, Karen, too. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. All right. I can't, there are a few of us in here. So I think we'll just hang out for a couple of minutes and let's see if we have anybody else join us. If not, that is totally cool. I'll be Thrilled for it to be just us. Oh, Diane, I got to show you something. And I was going to wear it. I wore it to the meditation this morning, but then I started getting hot and I was like, well, that's not a good idea because I'm only going to get hotter. Check this out. Because you were the inspiration for this. Ta-da! It's a sweatshirt. Oh, I can't seem to get myself straight here. There we go. So, I'm excited. They're in the YouTube shop too. So, yay! I'm really excited. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how to yeah. I was trying to do. Oh, you wore your tank yesterday? Awesome. I have 3 more because they sent remember the 3 that we never got? I did get those. I can't remember if I told you that or not. So, you have extras now. Yeah. Awesome. Yay. I'm going to wear my tank tomorrow to your to the practice tomorrow. So, yeah. All right, I need to take a breather. Y'all should see my setup here because it's like, I don't know how long we're going to be here. I have tea, I have water, I have snacks. Well, not really snacks, chocolate. More chocolate, Karen, to help ground. So we'll see what happens. I have a feeling we're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? Well, we're going to talk about some things that we talked about in the meditation this morning. And then you made some for tomorrow too? What do you mean? Diane, what did you make for tomorrow? Or you made snacks for tomorrow? That would be awesome. Or did you mean that you may wear your tank tomorrow too? Yeah, so as far as the message today, I will share a message that I got a couple of days ago about the solstice, and then we'll talk about the another message I received about these 3 astrological events that are going on right now, starting yesterday with the new moon. Today we are in alignment, where the sun is in alignment with the Galactic Center at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. And then tomorrow, of course, we have the solstice. So, and then yesterday, why do I keep forgetting the day? This is interesting. I'm having one of those time moments where things are starting to stack and compress together. Yesterday, 3i Atlas was at its closest approach, but I found it really, really interesting in that last message that the 9 brought through, that they were talking about 3i Atlas in that way, that it's actually what did they say? That it was still accessible, but they made it sound like the greatest impact of it had already occurred. But then we have 2 more emissaries coming in the following months, one in around February 17th, and then they talked about one around the equinox in March. So, which was really interesting. I guess we're just going to go ahead and get started. Oh yeah, well, we've got 7 people here. Awesome. Hi, everybody say hi. Fantastic. So, what was I saying? What was I saying? We were talking about the other emissaries coming through. And they talked about them in the triangle formation coming through the solar system. But the triangle is so large that that's why they're offset. And that each of the emissaries represented a point on the triangle. I think I called it a vertex. That's actually like the angle of the triangle. But that's how they were bringing it through. Oh, well, wait a minute. They're saying something else about why they talked about it that way. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too terribly loud. I gotta take my rings off. I wear the rings and then they have to come off at some point. So what were they saying? Oh, interesting. They're saying that the angles of the triangle formation that the three emissaries are taking vary along their trajectory. They still maintain a triangle formation, but the vertices for each one, meaning the angle between the lines that make up the triangle formation between the 3 points, change as they move through the solar system, but that's also dependent upon, or not dependent upon, but influenced by our interaction with them. So it shifts and changes based upon, oh, that's fascinating. It shifts and changes based upon our energetic interaction with them. And you know how there have been different astronomers and observationists, I don't know, that's not the right word, but people who have been observing them, scientists, let's say, who have noticed that the trajectory has shifted as 3i Atlas has moved through the solar system, and the 9 are saying that that's why, because our interaction with these emissaries, and we're actually already, some of us are already interacting with the 2 emissaries to come. We just don't necessarily we don't have conscious awareness of it yet. Although now we do, now that we're talking about it, but that interaction is influencing through, what are they? They're referencing like an electromagnetic or magnetic interaction, resonance, that's not the right word. I don't have the scientific terms for it. But there's a relationship there between the energy that we are sending out No, I'm sorry, they're correcting me. It's not a sending out. There is a relationship between how we are energetically opening to receiving the transmissions from these emissaries. And in that way, our openness and how that influences then their energetic field as they move along the trajectory. So that will change and impact the vertices of the triangular formation of the 3 emissaries. Wow, did that make sense? Did that make sense? All right. Oh, chocolate. Diane said chocolate. So y'all have to let me know. Did that make sense, what I was bringing through about the emissaries? That was really fascinating. They haven't shared that with me previously. And on a side note, no, you cannot have too much chocolate. I have, as a matter of fact, right now, dark chocolate, but it's the peppermint bark. That is one of my holiday favorites. Anyway, so let me know what you guys think. I'm checking the comments here. If you, I wish we could talk back and forth. That's the only thing I don't like about the YouTube Live, is that I can't interact with you speaking and hear your voices, see your faces. So I'll wait just a second, see if anybody has any questions about that, or you have any thoughts about that you want to share. Otherwise, I'll go straight into this other message. We'll start talking about the solstice and and then we'll kind of loop back around to the message about the 3 astrological events that are going on. Okay, I don't see any. I'm just kind of giving it another second to see if we have any other comments. I'm going to put up here so I can see it in the... I'm going to figure out a way to be able to see this on a screen so it's a little bit easier. No thoughts? Okay. All right. We'll go ahead with the other message. So I'm just going to read this to you guys. I made some notes here. This was something that we talked about in the meditation this morning. Something I've been feeling really and experiencing really strongly. The polarity of the solstice, of witnessing and experiencing the challenges, all while knowing, maybe more deeply than ever before, that you are good, you are okay, you are safe, and will and can get through anything which may present itself to you upon your journey. The longest night is one of surrender. Surrender to the uncertainty, because now you know that the light which brings clarity emanates from within you. Yeah. Oh, Diane. Okay, so Diane was saying someone was calling the next one 4i Atlas and saying it was the mothership. No, that doesn't really resonate with me, because I don't feel like they are, from what I understand from the 9, they're not, maybe this will change. I mean, maybe I don't have all the information yet, but they're reminding me of when I first talked about 3i Atlas, and I kept wanting to call it Alpha, 3i Alpha, because there are 2 more. So they've referenced to them as Beta and, what did they call the third one? I think they called the third one Omega. Beta and Omega. Does that sound right? Well, that's what they're saying. So whether or not it sounds right to me, that's what they're saying. So they called it Beta and Omega are the next 2, but they have not indicated that they are ships. They call them emissaries, but they are holding, they're like carriers of frequency. So it's not, they have not indicated to me in any way that they're actually carrying beings, just to be clear about what I'm trying to say here. That they are carrying these frequencies that are helping to open our consciousness and our awareness, and then also frequencies that are part of these activations in within our DNA and assisting with that, and then the amplification of the photonic activity within us as well. And that's the way they've talked about it with me, at least so far. Interesting. Hey Diane, did they give a time frame for the next one to be coming through? The ones that they, at least from the 9, what they have talked about, they gave the impression that they were, the next 2 that the 9 have referred to have not been identified by scientists. So they're not something that has been like spoken about in the media or anything like that. They're kind of correcting me. They're saying that there may be some scientists that actually have witnessed at least the next one, but that it has not been talked about in the media yet. It hasn't been shared publicly. But they are very much connected to, it's not a coincidence, of course, that their passage through the solar system coincides with also those dates of the superdimensional healing that they talked about I don't know when. I was about to say a couple of months ago. It hasn't been that long. It was only like last week, I'm pretty sure, or the week before. So, what was I saying? So it's the transmission of these frequencies that is helping to support, and they're showing it to me like bringing up this healing from within us. So it's an activation, and I guess that's why they call it an activation. It's something that works on the healing potential that's already available within us, and it merely, they're saying, releases it up to into our awareness so that we can integrate it and make use of it, they're saying. All right, I'll stop talking again for a moment to see if anybody else wants to share anything else, or if Diane has anything else to add. Or anyone else, y'all are welcome to. I'm keeping an eye on the comments as best I can. So they seem to be a little bit delayed for me to see them. But if you have a question or something, or a comment, feel free to pop it in there. And if not, then I will share this other message before we do anything else. Quite a bit delayed. What's quite a bit delayed? The comments. Yeah, I'm not sure why. And I don't know if that's normal with YouTube. It might be. I don't know. Let me see. No, I can't. I'm afraid to do anything with it different because, like, I don't want to mess with it. I don't think I have any settings turned on that would cause any issue with the comments to be delayed like that. So it might be a normal thing with YouTube Live. I just haven't done enough of them to know, unfortunately. But I'll figure it out. All right, I'll give it another second to account for the delay in case there's anything else that you guys want to say. Okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead. All right, so this is the other message. This is the message I received the other day that I kind of referenced in the last video where I talked about the superdimensional healing again. I can't even remember what it was called, to be honest. But so I'm going to read this to you guys real quick to share this because this is very relevant. We're talking about the astrological events that are going on right now and what that means for us. This weekend we have, and let me start by saying this was downloaded from the 9. This weekend we have, this weekend you have the cosmic transits, the new moon in Sagittarius, alignment of our sun with the Galactic Center, and then we have the solstice. Okay, the next part is from the 9. Alignment with the Galactic Center is occurring within the triumvirate of the new moon and the solstice. This creates a prismatic refraction, amplifying the photonic activity within your cells, unlocking key activating codes within your DNA. The DNA, which has been dormant, recently turned on, is now emitting codes out into the field, the physical and energetic, as well as out beyond. Of course, this reaches into the quantum field, and it reaches out into the cosmic field as well. These codes carrying communication and the keys to the encryption held within the plasmic states of origin. With the keys engaged, decryption is initiated, releasing technologies seated within the physical structures of the human, held for millennia to be birthed at just such a moment as this. These technologies are products of the cosmic thread, present within the human and connecting to beyond the earthly system. And that speaks back to, very much connected to these emissaries again, and the emissaries serving as, they're saying, amplification points. Again, they're showing me the triangle. And these amplification points are not points, these are points in space-time. Points in which we are... It's interesting because they're using the word points, or that's the way I'm translating it. And yet that point exists beyond a linear terrestrial point. It exists, this is why they refer to it as a point in space-time. It exists in a as a multi-dimensional locale. And it is these points stretching across space and time, stretching across your solar system, stretching beyond your perception of time or geography, which connect you into this cosmic thread. They are the opening to these keys, the keys to decrypting the technologies held within you. Visualize it like a treasure chest held within your energetic field and anchored within your DNA. Visualize it as this container which you've had some underlying awareness of, which has grown throughout your awakening and your rising consciousness, your connection with self, your connection to your heart space and to your soul, your connection to trust in yourself, and your connection to the understanding of your sovereignty, how that feels, what that experience is like, and what coherence is with your highest self. You've understood there was something still there that had not been unlocked. And it is at this point, which exists across space and time. These experiences are beyond the linear. They are beyond your human clock. They are beyond your human geography. They are beyond this three-dimensional reality that most of you still have some connection to and will continue to, at least for a period of time. But it is these points which you intersect with, which you have opened to, which are the opening, the gateway, the key to unlocking this chest within you. Maybe you have touched upon it already. Maybe you have even peeked into it already. And you are coming upon this point in space-time, this point that exists beyond your clocks, beyond your geography. This point which extends across the superdimensional. And this point in which the key is turned, the chest unlocked, and the top fully flung open. Of course, we speak in metaphor. However, it helps to have a visual representation, but to understand that this chest is actually within your DNA. And this is why you've had a knowing of it, an underlying knowing. This is why you've been able to maybe touch upon it, maybe peek into it. It has been there all along, seated within the plasmic state of origin. And so you allow yourself to be in a space of surrender. Surrender to what your body is asking for, to what your heart and soul are asking for, what is calling out to you, what brings you joy. Because it is in this state of openness and receptivity that the key turns smoothly, effortlessly. All of you here are at this point of the key turning. You can feel it, you know it. You've felt something coming for some time now. And you're surrendering, you're allowing yourself to sit in the uncertainty of not knowing what that thing is. You're having patience. You're finding purpose and even pleasure in the process. Continue that. You're right where you need to be. You're right on time. Allow yourself to settle into trusting in that. And as you sit in this cross point of the center point of this triumvirate of astrological events approaching, for many of you, your longest night, you are perfectly primed and readied to be in this place of darkness. Because this is the cosmic womb. This is where the new is created. And as you move through this, the choices you make, the energetic investments, the directions you follow, the thoughts you think, the words you speak, all play a part into this creation. And so it is not to judge oneself for any choices, any thoughts, any words you may speak that you may feel are incorrect. There is no correct or incorrect. It is all part of the process. You're right where You are meant to be. You are right on time. And so as we speak of future events, allow yourself to, yes, take in the information and yet continue to stay focused in this present moment on what is right in front of you, what is right present here now. For as we mentioned, as your interaction does influence and impact the trajectory, the movement, the angle of approach of the coming emissaries. They still remain within that triangular formation. And so adjustments may be slight. And we share this so that you may rest in trusting that they will be present, that the activations are interacting with you already and will continue. And also to recognize that some of you here have already received the activations and the amplification and the frequencies to move you into New Earth. And many of you are already experiencing New Earth. And we share this for your understanding and awareness of how so much action, there is much shifting and movement beyond your visual perception, beyond even your direct awareness. You have the sense of it. You have the knowing that things are moving and changing. And although it may not seem like that is the case when you look out into your daily life, what's most important and what we encourage you to remind yourself of is not how it looks externally, but how you feel internally. And then how you're reacting to the external from this new now you. New Earth, above all else, is a frequency. And many of you are already in coherence with that frequency. Maybe not all the time, no, because much of your existence, or even some of your existence, is still attached to the 3D. And there is no judgment there. There is no wrong there. This is merely part of the process. And to want to separate from the 3D in a faster fashion also informs you of your journey and things to pay attention to, or something that may just need your attention. more information will be to come on the forthcoming emissaries. And as we mentioned previously, the first will approach around February 17th, the second around the March equinox, March 20th. We will speak on this further. However, again, we caution you against looking too far forward. There is much to come, much to occur between now and then for you. And your focus on the present moment is of utmost importance. We thank you for sharing this space with us, for opening to these messages. We enjoy very much being in this frequency with you. Okay. Well, they just kind of took over there. I didn't get much of a chance to say, hey, this is the 9 coming through. I'm going to have to watch that back because I'm going to have to, I'm having a hard time remembering what they said. Did I miss any comments? No, I don't think I did. No. Okay. Wow. What'd you guys think of that? I'd love to hear your feedback because I know that they confirmed, they talked a little bit more about the 2 coming emissaries, but I don't think they talked very much about it. Did they? I really don't remember that much of that one, which was unusual. Normally I remember a little bit more, but hey, Melissa, glad you're here. Yay. Yeah, what did you guys think of that? I'm going to keep sipping on my tea because I feel like I'm a little floaty still. Anybody have any questions? I keep refreshing my comments to see if I almost feel like they're going to come back through again. So, like they got us all excited and then said, settle down, be here now, and don't think too much about the future. Really? Yeah, they do that a lot. Well, and it's, I think it depends upon what the way they explain it to me too, is the way they, oh, hey, Michelle, who are the 9? Okay, let me back up a little bit for Michelle since she's the first time here. The 9 are my group of guides. They're made up of quite a few of galactics. I have several galactic guides, 2 archangels, and a couple of ascended masters as well. So that's who I channel, and that's who I was channeling just then. I don't know if you just got here or if you've been here for a little bit. I think I just finished channeling with them maybe 5 minutes ago. So if you missed it, though, I think you can rewind it, go back. But that's who the 9 are. Melissa said, what's up with the random pain? Yeah, I have... my chair is so squeaky. The random pain. I feel like, for me, at least, of course, I have to give the obligatory, I'm not a doctor. But I feel like the random pain is often the releasing of energies from these activations, or like not really the releasing, but it's on the right before a release happens, like that. I'm getting the sense of like energy getting blocked somewhere, and that's where the pain comes from. And if we then work to allow ourselves to soften into that and then to transmute it, either calling in the violet flame to help transmute that, or this is something. Oh, thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Oh, Michelle, you've been here. Okay, cool. Yes. Yeah, so work with the violet flame. You could do also that. Oh, the light link. That's what they were talking about. The light language transmission for the superdimensional healing that's on the website. You could also work with that, Melissa, and that should help, especially as you're having those pains, help to move that along and allow those energies to be released instead of getting stuck. Because it's when they get stuck, I feel like, that's when we get the pain. You said a while back that integrations would be more comfortable with a lot more hydration. Yeah. Yes. Karen is saying, you said a while back that integrations would be more comfortable with a lot more hydration. I have random pain, but I am not hydrating. And then there's old age pain. Yeah, I hear you. Hydration, and I've also had to, that reminds me, thank you for sharing that, Karen, that I've had to cut back on caffeine because I've noticed that caffeine has, I noticed a correspondence between that kind of stuck energy feeling and those random pains being connected with elevated levels of caffeine ingestion. And I'm not talking about a whole lot. Like, I don't drink soft drinks or anything like that, or energy drinks, anything like that. But I'm just talking about going from 2 cups of coffee a day to maybe like 2.5. So it doesn't take much. But the other part of that is, hot water and herbal tea and green tea in particular. I've been doing a lot of warm water too, Melissa, like starting out my day with warm water instead of with coffee and then drinking green tea. I have a hard time drinking just water when it's cold outside, but the green tea has helped me in releasing. I think that the energy, when it gets bunched up like that too, it creates the inflammation, and then that's where we get the pain. But yeah, I think that would be helpful. Okay, back to Diane. Diane, about the getting all excited. I think the most important part is how we interact, how the excitement is directed. If it's directed in a way of reaching past the present moment for something happening in the future in a way that gets us out of the present moment, then that's what they're asking us to avoid doing. And that's why they keep reminding us to get in the, calm down a little bit, be in the present moment. Because when we start looking too much forward for something that is not in the present moment necessarily, then we're sending our energy out. Kind of the way I'm seeing it is like sending our energy out, and it just gets dissipated out. Like it doesn't have a clear reception point. That's an interesting way for them to bring that through. And then they're showing me that but it's interesting because I'm seeing like a, what's that? Like a Celtic knot almost, representing the energy and how it swirls around. But they're saying that it's one thing to be open. It's more a matter of being open and receptive to what is coming, but not attaching to what is coming. I know. And it's, I mean, that's, I think, something that we all have to work on as humans. It's part of being human. And in particular, I think I should clarify that. It's not necessarily attaching to future potentials isn't necessarily something that all humans do, but I think it is can be very prevalent in our society, at least in Western society, because, the flower of life. Yes, I think that's exactly what I was seeing, Melissa. Because we have been conditioned for more, right? To look for more, to do more, to reach to be better, and all those, like, seeking outward. And so that's a big reason why they tell us to reel it in. Reel it in there, friends. I know. It just depends on where our excitement goes. And so just to be aware of that. But yeah, that can be kind of a downer. But again, that, I think that also, like they were saying, that tells us something about what we need to work on as well. So, yeah. Yeah, what else was I gonna say? Anybody else have any other questions? Any questions? Oh, I'm so glad y'all are here. Thank you for being here with me. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Oh, now my sinuses are getting all, ugh. It's that time of day. Oh, they're talking about headaches. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there's, these DNA activations are also connected to, did this come through in one of the last messages as well? This feels familiar. These DNA activations are connected to, or we may experience them as, they're calling it like an awakening within the crown chakra, or even the soul star chakra. No, they're focusing on the crown. Sorry. And they're saying we might have some discomfort with, like, head pressure, but they're also bringing me back around to drinking more water, resting. They're actually talking about sun gazing as well to help with that. Interesting. That's interesting too, because I've had quite a few headaches in the last week, and it's been a while since I had experienced that. So, oh, the other thing I was going to say with the pains and things like that, crown has sore lately too, Melissa. Yeah. The other thing with the pains is that, and as Karen was talking about, that as we're going through these DNA activations, the 9 have talked so much about taking care of our physical bodies, and we're becoming more and more sensitive. Not only, energetically, we're becoming more sensitive, and we feel those things through our physical body. All that energy gets held within our physical body. And so, as we become more sensitive and are more aware of our physical body, then it's like a twofold thing. Not only are we moving frequencies and energies out of it, lifting them up, right, from the depths of within us, even beyond our own lifetime, not only are we digging deeper to release more things, but we also have a greater sensitivity to what that process feels like. And so we are going to notice more aches and pains, or I think that's why so many of us are so tired as well. You know, this process, it's a twofold thing. We're becoming more sensitive, and so we're more aware of what's going on, and we're doing really deep work. So it can be very hard on the physical body. Very hard. They're saying too right now that these changes that we're making, in whether in our sleep schedule or in our food and drink, our activity levels, that we'll notice that they will change again, and they're pointing me to the equinox. So there is a shift that happens again. So they're sharing that because they're saying, you know, the things that we're feeling and experiencing now are temporary. This is not like a never-ending process of being fatigued and sore and we can't drink our coffee. So it will well, interesting, they're actually using the word resolve. That's interesting. Yeah. See. I'm just making sure I didn't miss any comments. No. It's still taking a while for them to come up, I think, though. Anybody else have any questions? Let's see if there's anything else they wanted to say. They keep mentioning just to be very present, and interesting, they're pointing me back to, I posted a reading this morning that I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at it, but they're reminding me of that. So we'll bring that up briefly. The reading was around, it was interesting because it began as like an individual, what am I trying to say here? A message towards, I mean, it was a collective, of course, because I'm reading for all of you guys, but the message individually was to be for someone who is juggling a lot of things. And really, that could be all of us to some degree. I think we're all juggling a lot of different things. It's not always in the physical realm, right? But there are a lot of things going on for all of us internally as well. They were talking about how as we are doing these tasks, and whether they're like, well, no, it wasn't so much healing tasks, but as we're doing these tasks, that we lose track of whether or not our heart still aligns with doing those particular activities or in particular environments. And so the message was encouraging us to take a pause on everything. And now the 9 are saying, especially this weekend. And I know I've gotten that message for myself that I need to not work tomorrow. Because oftentimes I'm working every day of the week. So this allowing ourselves to really take a pause, especially around the solstice, or whenever you feel guided to. Maybe you don't feel guided to do it on the solstice, or maybe, maybe you are planning to do it over the holidays, or whenever it might be, whenever you feel guided to. But the key part of this was in the pause, it allows for like an internal reset, an internal reconnection to your heart and to what your heart is calling for you to do, or what it wants, where your joy lies. And so then as you re-engage with those tasks or activities, to pay attention to how you feel when you re-engage with them, because you've now gone back to your 0 point, and by taking that pause, and it's from that point that you can actually discern which of those activities, all, none, some, are in alignment with what your heart is asking of you. What was really interesting about the message is that, that was interesting, but then it was fascinating to me because it expanded out and it became more about how collectively that's what we're doing. That we have, and again, there was like layers to it. They were talking about how we have, collectively, as we have gone through similar processes where we're making choices that are heart-led, that we are shifting and recalibrating the frequency of the collective overall. And in addition, that those of us that have been doing this work are now, we are clearing a path, so to speak, for others that will be following us, that are in just a different part of their path, but are coming up to this work as well. It was really fascinating. And so the reason they're bringing that back up, to bring this back around, so I was like, why are we talking about this? Because that's what we're doing through this work with the keys they talked about in the message, and with the emissaries and this superdimensional healing work that we're doing. They talked about how there were like different waves, different groups of the collective that would be doing this in phases. And so those of us that are here doing this work now, not only are we doing this for ourselves, but as we do this work and as we embody these higher states of consciousness, and we are in the new earth frequency more often, we're carrying that with us. So everyone we interact with, every environment we interact with, we're sharing that frequency. We are sharing that new way of being. And so not only do we act as way showers, but we also spread that frequency out into the collective. And it's like, that's what it was in the message. They were saying that, you know what it's like, because this is how I feel right now with you guys. A perfect example. You know what it's like when you have a group of close friends, and they, and it may just be one, it might be a couple, it may be a larger group, but you can speak freely, and you know that you won't be judged, and you know that that they hold space for you, and it's a space of love and openness and non-judgment. That's the energy that we are carrying out into the collective, and the more that we embody that and share that with the collective, which is why so many of us in this place are being called to share ourselves in some point, in some fashion, however that looks for us individually. But that's because that's part of our role here, is to share this frequency and to be the ones who hold this container of acceptance and for the collective. And I thought that was really, really beautiful. Really beautiful. So that means that's what all of you guys are doing. We're all doing that. Make this frequency viral. It's contagious. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly, Diane said, that's exactly what I've been saying in class. Make this frequency viral. It's contagious. With your eyes, your heart, your touch, all of it. Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. I love that. I love that. Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And that the other part of that message was that, you know, we sometimes forget that, or we don't even have awareness of the impact that we have beyond what we can see or witness. And that's because so much of the impact, as Diane says, you know, it's frequency, and people are positively impacted by that. Just like anyone can be negatively impacted by an energy or a frequency, right? We have to remember that it works both ways, and we're able to have positive impact merely by being present. And so that's a very important reminder for us all as well, that it's not that we're really, now some of us, like me, you know, my path obviously is to be here and be, and there was no delay that time. Oh, that's funny, Diane. That's really funny. So some of us are meant to be public and some of us are not. And all are valuable. All the ways that we share this frequency of new earth and of alignment and unconditional love, it's all necessary. It's all needed. It's all valuable. So it's not, and that's where being heart-led comes from. Not where it comes from, but that's where being heart-led is going to direct you into how you share that frequency. Is it going out silently into the world, going to the grocery store and being present? You know, it can be that simple. It can be that simple. It's spreading the frequency and being in that place of alignment. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, how amazing is it to be alive right now with all these changes? I mean, if we look back, let's look back like 5 years. Now, who would have thought, now maybe some of you guys would, but who would have thought like 5 years ago that we would just be having these conversations and this type of thing would be on the news? You know, like multidimensionality, talking about like 3-eye atlas and considering that openly, publicly, that it's not just a comment. I mean, look at how much things have changed. And yeah, there's a lot of chaos out there, and there are a lot of lower frequencies too, but we have to remember that this earth is one of polarity. And so just as we continue to increase our frequency, as we continue to move in that direction on the scale, that means it has to be balanced out. So it's a matter of our perspective on it. And when we can be in that place of neutrality and that sort of 0 point of being in acceptance of all of it, then it looks and feels different. So that goes back to the first message that, you know, of polarity of this weekend in particular. So what do you guys think? Thoughts, questions? Bring it on. What do you got? No thoughts, no questions? Is this helpful? Creaky chair. I don't know if the comments are delayed or you guys are just being quiet. Maybe both. Oh, there's Melissa. Recalibrating the brain requires new and different experiences. Yeah, absolutely. It does. It's totally retraining ourselves, retraining. And yeah, that's such an important point, that we've done so much healing work internally. We have to put it into practice now. It really, that's the only way that we can fully step into the new frequency and embody it, is having the practice, allowing ourselves the opportunities to practice responding, reacting, interacting, behaving in that new frequency of the new now us. Yeah, that's a very, very important point. And that's not easy either. And that's really, I feel, and from what I'm hearing from the 9, is that's why so many of us are feeling and experiencing so much challenge now, and the last 2 months, and I think we will until probably that's that mid-February point, February 17th, which, you know what, I didn't realize, and I forgot to mention earlier, but February 17th is actually an eclipse, and it's the new moon in Aquarius on that day. So that's a pretty big one too. Lesson learned today: be mindful of your emotions around others. They will catch them. They will catch them. I'm not sure what you mean by catch them, Melissa. I'm not totally clear on that. But yeah, giving ourselves the opportunity to practice, and that means putting ourselves out there more too. And and that that doesn't necessarily mean being out there and being on camera, but I just mean allowing ourselves to have interactions, getting out of the hermit cave, because it's time for us to be out, and like Diane said, we can't contagious. Yeah. We can't be contagious. We can't share that frequency without being out and interacting with other people, and yeah, being mindful too of how we do that as well, because we have to look out for ourselves first, because if we're not, then we're not embodying the highest frequency. We're not in alignment with our highest self if we are not being mindful of our own energetic state and what's best for us and our boundaries as well. So it's taking all of those pieces to the puzzle, all of the things that we've learned over this healing journey, and now really truly putting them into practice. Not that we haven't been doing that already, but it's like it's all coming together. And there are I think many of us are experiencing a lot of challenges now as well, and these are opportunities for us to react, behave, respond, think, feel, even from the new us. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think that can... yeah, absolutely. Like, our frequency it does have a big impact on people around us. Especially when we're coming from... your value outside yourself, but trust what you know inside yourself. Discernment. Yeah, Karen, I absolutely agree. Absolutely. Using discernment, and yeah, it's very important, not placing all your value outside yourself. Yeah, that's a big part of the challenges right now, I think, are the opportunity for us to be reminded of that and then act from that. And be attentive to how we're reacting to these situations. Melissa, I think it's important, I'm going back and forth internally about this, because on the one hand, it's important for us to honor how we're feeling. However, and to allow ourselves to express that. Sometimes people react. Let's see, how do I put this? I'm having a hard time finding the words for this. Sometimes people just react, especially when we are coming from a place of anger. And so certainly you are very powerful energetically. So it is absolutely possible that your energy behind that, was felt very strongly by them, and so they took that on, so to speak. Sometimes, that might be the case, but also it just depends on the person. If that person is really sensitive or empathic, and they probably don't have to be super sensitive or empathic in that situation, it may also be just their reaction, that maybe that particular person responds kind for kind, instead of responding from their own balance point. So the only reason I say that is because we, of course, with the qualifier that we don't want to be, we don't want to be unkind or hurtful, right? However, it's important for us to honor our own expression as well, and to honor our emotions. So, yeah, there's a balance point to that for sure of, and maybe the most important part of that is the awareness that you received, and then taking responsibility for that too going forward. I had that kind of moment as well earlier today where I got defensive, and within a couple of moments I was like, oh, I just did it myself. So I think then going to the person and saying, I was able to, because we were still in conversation and it's somebody I'm close with, so I was able to say, hey, I'm sorry, there was no reason for me to respond that way. Uh-oh, here goes my throat. Oh, I'm gonna cough. Hang on. So anyway, gives us the opportunity, we're still human, and it gives us the opportunity to take responsibility for our own humanness as well, and the times when we're still practicing, right? I don't know if I can even mute my microphone so you don't have to hear me cough. Okay. Better now. This is why I have multiple drinks here. Water, tea. Let's see if there was anything else. Yeah, but again, it's practicing, right? We have to allow ourselves the opportunity to, and the grace too, that we are going to make mistakes. We're learning a new way of being, and we've done all this stuff internally. It's a very different thing to practice it with people in particular, or environments, situations that are, don't necessarily have the same perspective as us. People who are on a different frequency, right? That adds a whole different level of challenge. So, however, it's still important for us to allow ourselves to practice that while being mindful of our own boundaries and energy and the expenditures that we're making, and where we're making them. Yeah. and giving us ourselves a whopping load of grace in the process, and knowing that we're going to stumble and trip, and that's part of the learning process. So thank you all for the comments. I appreciate you interacting with me. It's so much more fun when I'm chatting with you instead of feeling. I love chatting with you guys. Anybody else have any other questions or anything? Oh, 1717. Are you guys, anybody want me to pull some cards? I have some time for those of you who are still here. If anybody's interested in that, you just let me know. I could do like a quick little individual thing, or I could do like a collective thing. Karen, yes. Karen, you want a card or two just for you? Oh, the other Karen. Yes, we got two Karens with yeses. You want a collective thing or you want individual thing? What do you think? If you don't want individual on this type of forum, I totally understand. So you guys just let me know. That's why I ask. I want to be clear on that before I start doing it. I don't want to. Sure. Which one? Personal, individual, or collective? Love an individual. Okay. All right. I'm going to start with you first, Karen. Then, okay. And, okay. So Trail Trekker, I'm going to go by your YouTube names here. Trail Trekker, I'm going to do you first, and then I'll do Melissa, and then Karen. Is it Chins? I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name. Then if you want me to do one for you, I will too. But I want to make sure that you guys want me to do that before I do. Okay. What deck are we using? Let's use a different deck. Let's see. I don't know. Hang on a second, you guys. Oh, okay, individual. All right, gotcha. All right, Diane, are you still here? You want one? Or anybody else? Michelle, Tommy, those are the only other people I've heard from. But if anybody else wants one, you just chime in. Okay. No. Which one? Oh, I haven't used that one in a while. Okay. Hang on, guys. Let me get it. Okay. I haven't used this deck in a while, and I love it. It's the Mystical Moments. This one. Oh, my cat's awake. She just came in here. All right, Trail Trekker is first. We'll do, I don't know, let's see. Okay, Dodie's page. Hello. I'm doing little mini individual readings. If you want one, let me know. Okay. I'm not going to do like specific question. I'm just going to see what the 9 want to say. Does that mean we need to switch? Okay, we're going to do one from here and then a one from an oracle. Wait, hang on. Which one? Which? That one? Okay. All right. And the Starseed Oracle, Michelle. Okay, yes, got you, Michelle. You'll be after Melissa. Okay. I haven't shown you yet what it is, have I? Okay, hang on. Okay, Doty's page, you're after Michelle. All right. Okay. Okay, no, you'll be after Karen. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, Karen. You have the Fool. And then, this is interesting. You have, I'm sorry. And it says on the bottom, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, and uprooting. Okay, so you just start laughing. Look at how we have, like, look. Do you see the similarity in these two cards? First of all, like with the root here, the uprooting, and then this new seed coming up here, which is interesting in the mystical moment. Why can't I get this right? Because it's actually like an alligator. So, but in this case, you know, I've heard it read that there's a cautionary thing with this alligator here in this Fool card. That's not what I'm feeling for you, though. I'm feeling like this is something you've conquered. And so whatever you've conquered, you've now... I'm hearing you've made it your pet. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. But what you've conquered is this... feeling of defenselessness, this feeling of I'm getting like, okay, hang on. This actually feels like an inner child type thing too, Karen. That this, I'm sorry, is feeling, why can't I get that straight? Okay, is feeling in relationship to a sense of defenselessness that your inner child has experienced. And so there is a new beginning because the work you've done, this alligator is what, and now it wasn't obviously a real alligator. Symbolically, this alligator was whatever made your inner child feel defenseless. Now that you've made this alligator your pet, you've conquered it. Now there is a new beginning that is allowing your inner child to be free. That's the Fool energy. And I get that from now there's also a unification that is about to take place. Like I'm seeing this as you and your inner child, these two figures here. And there will be a unification that takes place. This divide will cease to exist. And that's this Fool energy. And it's, you know, we also have these, there's so much like pink and lavender in this card. And then look at the flowers. Like the colors match perfectly. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions about that? Let me know. Let me know. And I might eat a piece of chocolate. No questions? Hi, Louise. I'm sorry, I'm looking down. I'm looking at the comments on my phone, so I've got... Trail Trekker, any questions? No. Oh. I've worked with their child recently over some things. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Melissa is actually next. Okay. So, and then I'll do the other Karen, and then I will do Michelle, and then we'll do Dodie's page. Okay. Hi, Louise. I am welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm doing like little mini individual readings. If you're interested in one, let me know. Okay, Melissa. Oh, we need a different oracle deck. Okay, hang on. Give me just a moment. That one? No? Yes? Okay. Yes. Okay. We're doing Astro Codes Oracle for you, Melissa. And are we doing Mystical Moments? No, we're not. Okay. Hold, please. They're redirecting me. We're doing the Star Tarot for your tarot, Melissa. Okay. All right, got them shuffled. Sorry it took so long. Okay, let's see. I'm getting that sense of needing to ground again. I know we talked about that not too long ago, but I am getting that sense again. I just felt like I needed to firmly plant my feet on the floor. There's telling me one more of the tarot for you, Melissa. So far we have the Knight of Wands. Oh, I've got chills. Sure, Louise. Absolutely. Oh, and the Four of Wands. Okay. Hang on. We're going to do your Oracle. And then we'll see what the 9 have to say. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this message for you, Melissa, actually is coming from oh, Dodie's page, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you. Okay, what did Karen say? Alligator's the only reptile mother that stays with her young after hatching, so that was a cool reading. Oh, that's fascinating. Okay, Melissa, they were saying it's actually, this message is let me refocus here. This is like an ancestor message, Melissa. This feels like, what is that? That's interesting. It feels like Incan, like Peruvian is what I'm feeling. I don't, that's all I'm getting for that, but they wanted you to know. That's who's sharing this message. Okay. And I have got massive chills. So we have Neptune, card number 26 is the oracle. And it says underneath it, vision. That is such a beautiful card. Look at that. Talk about crown chakra energy there. That's Pisces too. Oh, there's a lot of Neptune. Neptune just went direct on December 10th, and it moves out of Pisces into Aries. I don't know when. February? January. No, it's January. January 29th, I believe. Or January 26th. Now, wouldn't it be wild if it was January 26th? Okay, now I have to look it up. Hold, please. Now I have to look it up. I'll be right back. New tab. Neptune. Oh, I can't even type. Stay with me, guys. In Aries 2026. Dude, it's January 26th. Okay. So that's going to be a really important time for you. Because did you catch that? January 26th is when Neptune moves into Pisces. You got the Neptune card, which is card number 26. Okay. So, no. Moves, let me say that over again. Neptune moves out of Pisces into Aries on January 26th. Okay. All right. Stay with me. Stay with me. Okay. Neptune moves out of Pisces into Aries on January 26th. Neptune can be about, it's a very watery archetype, and it actually rules Pisces. So in the modern era, and it can create a lot of watery emotional illusion. It is related to heightened psychic ability. So there's a lot of positive to it as well. It can be linked to your dream state, to the subconscious realm, to the etheric realms. Very much speaks to your water connection as well. However, it can go to the extreme. And remember when I said, when I started shuffling about grounding, it can be very, very ungrounding. So this is about grounding your vision into action, because we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, that's fire energy, which is Aries. Now, the Knight of Wands is often, it can be impulsive, but in this case, because we have the Four of Wands, which is, yes, fire energy, but the Four of Wands is also, it's creating a foundation of something through the action you've taken. It's something very stable. It's oftentimes it's a home, or can be a commitment of some sort. So with these two cards together, it feels like this Knight is speaking to inspired action. There is something that lifts for you around January 26th. Now, Neptune is a slow moving planet, so it might not be like January 26th. All of a sudden you feel, okay, now it's go time. But you might notice that there's a lightning, there's a clarity that wasn't available before. And now you see, you have, that's not the one. You have the inspired action. You know the direction, so that you're able to move forward towards this stability and this foundation. That's really awesome. That is really awesome. I've got chills, and I'm going to show you, they're telling me to, and now these are your ancestors sharing this message. And I was feeling, I don't know if you're aware of like Incan ancestry, Peruvian ancestry, but that's what I'm getting. And what's the Inca? Is that right? Am I saying that right? Yeah, that's right. Get like Machu Picchu type of energy is what I'm getting. That's really cool. That's really cool. Yay, I'm excited for you. You better write that date down, girl. January 26th. Okay. All right. Karen is next. Okay, let's see. What decks do we have? I am quickly covered up in decks here. Let me clear some space. Are we going to use these? No, we're not. That's what I thought. Okay. All right, not these. What are we using for Karen so I can make some space here? Are we using these? No. All right. Are we using the Star Tarot? No, we're using these. Okay. All right, we're using Dreams of Gaia Tarot for you, Karen. And what oracle? Okay. The Archetype Oracle by the Wild Unknown Archetype Oracle. Okay, Karen, you ready? Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome, Melissa. All right, Karen. All right, this is a message from the 9. They are reconfirming that. They just swooped back in. Oh, wow. Okay, you have card number 21, which is perception. All right, hang on. Let's do the oracle, and we might have more than one oracle here. Okay. Is that the one? No, it's not. Okay, I was shuffling and I wasn't sure if that was the one to take, but they said no. If it comes out again, though, that will be it. All right, one more shuffle. These cards are hard to shuffle. These round cards. At least I have a hard time shuffling them. Okay. Okay, and card number 23, the Destroyer. What I'm gonna knit right away, I'm taken by the color similarities in these cards. See the gold and the black, but that dark indigo, and then the purple as well, because she kind of has that lavendery indigo violet color on the sword, just like the center of the Destroyer card, and her mask is that kind of golden color, just like the rings are. Oh, I didn't even notice. Look at this. Do you see the mask and the eyes in this card? I can get my fingers to do the right direction. Okay. There is there is a truth that is coming through the darkness, and they are pointing to the solstice, but also December, maybe into mid-January, something that is revealed slowly, something that has been they're saying overlooked, but they're not saying that from a place of judgment. It's something that it was a purposeful overlooking, that it wasn't, it was like you were seeing across the top of it because it wasn't really time for it to be revealed. But that's not the main point. They're saying move on from that. Don't get caught up in that. What the main point is that something is being revealed. And part of why it wasn't revealed yet is because it has a destroyer type energy, meaning that it's like the Tower in the tarot. It means that this revelation, this truth that comes through is something that causes a lot of change, or maybe not a lot, but it's significant, maybe not in its vastness, meaning maybe it doesn't impact multiple areas of life, but it's significant to you as an individual. It might have impact beyond you as an individual, but the significance is more important in this reading as it applies to you as an individual. So it's interesting because the energy feels kind of heavy, but the outcome is not heavy. And that's what they're wanting me to convey to you, that even the cards look kind of, they look dark, they look kind of heavy, but it's not, the outcome is not heavy. It's it is more the unveiling that feels heavier than actually what occurs as a result of this dismantlement or destruction. Destruction just has such a heavy connotation to it, but it is more of a dismantling that happens by choice because of this revelation. And it may be something that you come to on your own, like an inner knowing that is like an epiphany type moment. And it may be something that is precipitated by an external event. Let's see, there's, it feels like there's apprehension because it's almost as if I get a sense that you may know this is coming. And so there's apprehension. Oh, and that they're saying that's why this is coming up now. That's why they're bringing this message to you, because they want you to know that the outcome, and they're telling me not to show you the cards anymore because they look dark, which is not bad. Darkness isn't a bad thing, but they're saying it's like that. There's a sense of, what am I trying to say here? There's a sense of apprehension because there's that kind of negative connotation because of the feeling of it upwelling of what this tower type situation that is forthcoming. But they are saying that the outcome is not heavy. It's actually a relief. That doesn't mean that the process will be necessarily easy, though. And I'm looking this way because I think there's another card they want me to pull, but I haven't discerned yet which deck it is. So let me see. That's what I thought. Okay. They want me to do one more. And okay. We're going to do the Life Soul Vision Oracle for this card. Yeah. And that here's your outcome. Heart energy. card number 9. You're bringing a cycle to a close through this process, and it says gratitude and growth. And I'm so drawn to how the sun is coming, like peeking over the top of this goblet. And so there, and the clouds are parting, and look at the color in this is there's the gold that matches these. So the, like, these indicators of the gold are like flashes of the outcome that is forthcoming. There's some difficult and uncomfortable things to move through to get to this. It doesn't feel like a really lengthy process, though. Well, they said, didn't they? They said mid-January. So, yeah. And they're saying to try to soften the apprehension around it, because it's like a resistance, and that makes will make the process a little bit more choppy, is the word they're using. Like, kind of not smooth or smoother. It's like a start stop kind of thing. Whereas if you're able to open to the flow of it, you're going to progress through it more quickly and more easeful, and then get to this state. Okay. Does that make sense? Does that help? I hope that helps. Remember, the outcome is not heavy. The outcome is really positive. My stomach's growling. I hope that helped, Karen. Okay. Who's next? Michelle's next, right? Yep. Michelle, and then Dodie, and then Louise. Okay. All right. Michelle, let's see. Which deck are we going to use? Sufi Tarot. Okay, we're going to use the Sufi Tarot for you, Michelle. Message. I've been receiving patience. I understand. Oh, awesome. Oh, I'm so glad that makes sense to you, Karen. I'm so glad. Yeah, third eye. Yep. Okay. Maybe it's not this deck. Is this the right deck? Did I get the wrong one? No, it's the right one. Okay. Let me shuffle again. No, this is not the right one. The cards are going all over the place. All right, hang on. All right, let me hang on just a second. Let me ground just a moment here. Make sure yeah, you'll work. Okay. Give me just a second, guys. I am recentering my energy, clearing space a little bit. Ethereal Moonlight, hello. Capricorn Sun, can I ask a question? Is this a reading? Yes, I am doing, I'm doing like mini readings for those of us here. I have kind of a list going. Yeah, Capricorn Sun, if you want to ask a question, feel free. It might be a minute, several minutes before I can get to it, but it just depends on what your question is. But yeah, feel free to put it in the chat. Okay, Michelle. Yeah, it's the Star Tarot. Okay, yes, Ethereal Moonlight. I will add you as well. We have a couple of people, like 3 people ahead of you. Okay, so just so you know. Please be patient. They're not very long. They're like 5. I don't even know. How long have they been, guys? Like 5 minutes? 8 minutes? Something like that? Okay. gonna have to eat a piece of chocolate after this. There we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, Michelle. Oh, nice. You've got the King of Cups. One more from this. Okay. No, two more from this. I think we're just doing tarot and not an oracle. But we'll see. Okay. Queen of Cups. Nice. That's a lovely matching pair. I'm feeling like an emotional integration here between the divine masculine and divine feminine within you, Michelle. Oh, and the Five of Swords. Okay, so there's okay. We have the King and Queen of Cups. There we go. We have the Five of Swords. And so what I'm feeling, because I was initially talking about an integration between the divine masculine and divine feminine within you in relation to your emotional body, is what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling. There is a sense of it feels like this inner conflict between your divine masculine and your divine feminine. Oh, because they are, and I'm speaking of these inner archetypes and aspects within you. There is a gap that needs to be bridged because there is there's a bit of a disconnect between those two energetic states within you and them honoring the other's emotional experience. So I hope this makes sense. It's as if, like, when you're in your divine masculine energy, that divine masculine energy has a very difficult time honoring the emotional state, the emotions even, and the emotional needs of the divine feminine within you. But the same is true of the divine feminine. The divine feminine energy within you is having a hard time in honoring and being, and I'm hearing holding space for the emotional state of the divine masculine within you. So there is an opportunity here for them to bridge that gap. It feels like there are experiences that you have had that have created this sort of gap. It was a disconnect. Ooh, and that just closed off my throat chakra. There was a a disconnect between. Whoa, hang on. Definitely a disconnect in being able to express your emotions. Ooh. But that came from, oh wow. Definitely doing some throat chakra clearing work would be helpful. in this process for you. But this came about out of, it's very interesting because I feel like this came about from the divine masculine within you trying to protect the divine feminine, and the divine feminine feeling as if she needs to be protected from the divine masculine, not realizing, not recognizing that they are two parts of the same whole within you. I know that's kind of complicated. Oh, there it goes again. I feel like it would be beneficial for you to, in a meditative state, sit down and facilitate a conversation between your inner divine masculine and your inner divine feminine, and allow them to create the safe space for them to speak to one another, because there's a lot of blockage. And being able to do that is going to create that bridge that then allows for you to have that flow between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, especially when in relation to your emotional state. And part of this also too is because the cups and are also associated like with our intuitive abilities, and so there can be some disconnect in that regard as well because of this separation. And again, there's no judgment over this. You know, this is something you're working through and working on. And so to not hold judgment for yourself in this process, it came about from things that were very painful, and it came about as a way to protect yourself. And I feel like that actually was initiated through not sharing, not speaking your emotions. And then that started to create that fissure between the inner divine masculine and inner divine feminine. Okay, so we are going to do an oracle to help support you in this process. Okay, we're going to do life, soul, vision again. Okay, so we've got, well, let me finish here and then I'll update where we are with everybody. Oh, wow. Lots of, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, lots of throat chakra stuff in this lifetime. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. And then you got, as your supportive energy, you have the Queen of Earth, the Queen of Pentacles, and it says nature's blessing. So there's also a well, I'm drawn to the flying creatures in all of these cards. We have flying fish in the the King of Cups. We have butterflies and moths in the Queen of Earth, and we have the ibis, the scarlet ibis in the Queen of Cups. So, what is that? Give me just a second. Let me do one more. I'm not quite getting a full picture of it. Interesting. Look at how similar these cards are. We have the Queen of Earth, and then we got, you got Equinox. And it says balanced release. So, I'm really getting a sense of going out in nature. Michelle, what I'm actually seeing is going out in nature and allowing yourself to have that release in a safe place in nature. Like being out in the woods, someplace that you're already comfortable with. And I'm seeing you like allowing your emotions to flow in that place. Whether you're screaming or crying or laughing or dancing, maybe all of the above. But allowing yourself to release those emotions there. And you know, I feel like when you're in that state, this is where these flying creatures are coming in. Flying creatures. You're actually going, okay. You're actually going to have an experience, but it may not be with a terrestrial creature. It might be a dragon. It might be a dragon. This might be something that connects you to your dragon, and that then provides a companion in this work and a protector. Oh, the dragon becomes the protector. So you don't have to do it on your own. Like your divine masculine is, and the divine masculine energy within us is always a protector energy, but he does it when his energies are balanced, he does it in a very balanced way. And so by having this dragon come in, it gives your divine masculine some freedom to lighten up a little bit, to not feel like he has to be on guard all the time. But that's it. It comes from being outside and potentially around the equinox. Okay. All right. I hope that made sense. Hopefully that resonated for you. Okay. All right. Who is next? All right. And these are the last ones I'm going to do, guys. So we're going to do, where are you? Dodie's page. Then, oh, my dog's barking. Then we're going to do Louise, and then Ethereal Moonlight. Capricorn Sun. Wants to be with me. Capricorn Sun, I'm happy to do a reading for you on your personal growth and your any messages like that the 9 or your guides want to bring through for you. I don't generally read for I don't tap into another person's energy that hasn't given me permission. And so for me to tap into the person on your mind, that I don't feel comfortable doing that. Does that make sense? Like, I'm happy to read for you and pull some cards that a message your guides wants to share or the 9 want to share, but I don't tap into someone without their explicit permission. So hopefully you understand that. And I appreciate your understanding. Okay, now I've lost track. Where was I? Okay, all right. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate that. Okay, so let me know if you want me to do some cards that are for you. Okay. Okay. So who's next? Dodie's page. You're next, right? You're next. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh boy, Billy's mad at me. All right. Wild Unknown for you, and then we'll see what oracle they want to do, okay? All right, Dodie's page. This is for you. So we're doing Dodie's page, ethereal moonlight, and then Capricorn sun. Okay. Oh, wait, Louise. Louise, you're after Dodie's page. Okay, I knew I was forgetting something. Yes, you are next. Okay. Oh, wow. You got the strength card. Card number 11. I'm coming, Bill. Hang on, girl. It's interesting. The energy is kind of slowing down. There it is. And the Father of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. All right, let's see what the Oracle is. I'm coming, Billy. Hang on, girl. All right. Yeah, okay. Haven't used this deck in a while either. All right. Oh my gosh, I almost knocked everything over. I am so sorry, you guys. That was probably really loud. I am so sorry. Ethereal moonlight. Okay, cool. All right, guys, Oracle, Dodie's page. This is the Oracle for you. Yep, ethereal moonlight is after Louise. Yep. Thanks for being patient, guys. Okay. Capricorn sun, let me know if you want me to do one for you, okay? Otherwise, if not, then ethereal moonlight, you will be the final one. Oh, hidden path. Oh, wow. A marriage of, oh my gosh. Okay, so you have, this is the Wild Unknown Tarot. So you have Strength, card number 11, and the Father of Pentacles. And then you have the Hidden Path, the marriage of spirit and matter. Which is interesting because like the Strength card is a fire sign. It's associated with Leo, but it always feels very it always feels very spiritual. I mean, it feels etheric to me. It feels what's the word I'm trying to say? Mystical almost. Because there's within the Strength, there's an essence to it, an energy to it, of course, of willpower, of endurance, of perseverance and persistence and dedication. And that comes from faith. So that's the divine, that's the word I wanted to use. That's the divine showing up in that energy, right? And then we have the King of Pentacles. Well, you don't get more like matter-based and tangible-based than the King of Pentacles. So in the Hidden Path, this is card number 34 as well. It's bringing your faith and determination together with your ability to, I'm hearing, I was going to say create something in the physical, but it's not create, it's maintain. Maintain and grow. Something is expanding, but it does require that trust in the divine within you and having faith in your multidimensional nature as well as your guides, your higher self. There is a path that you're not seeing in this growth where is it? This one. In this growth process, there's a foundation already in place with whatever we're talking about here, but now you're taking it to the next level. This is requiring your willpower, your strength, your dedication, your endurance in order to see this through. But what is missing right now is the path is unclear. What they are encouraging you to do is to bring together these two archetypal energies. And it's like when you merge these two together, then they become the Ankh in the center there of the two trees. Like the path becomes one. It's almost as if you have these two archetypes working separately within you, or they're not fully integrated. They're not fully integrated. They're not working in tandem. And so that's these two tree trunks, right? They're working side by side, but now you're being invited, actually called, to allow them to work together. So if you're working on something tangible, looking at the energy behind it, looking beyond what you're seeing in physical form and stepping back and moving into like a magician type energy where you're looking at the energetics of this, what you're growing, and facilitating the growth energetically as much, or maybe more, at least initially, as you are with the action you're taking in the physical realm. So that's what the key is for you. Very interesting. And they want me to show these to you again. They really want you to pay attention to the lion. I don't know why, but I'm really drawn to the infinity on his forehead. Oh, I know why. Because when you put these two things in play, it really opens up something in your third eye as well. And that helps you to really see the value in the hidden path. Look at how the trees and their trunks looping together look like an infinity. That's very cool. A lot of Egyptian type with the Eye of Ra there and the Ankh. So there may be clues to you there as well. They're saying in the energy work. And now Sekhmet is coming through. So if you have some connection to Sekhmet or you're familiar with her, working with her energy, interesting. Okay. Dodi's page, what do you think? That makes sense? Was that helpful? I hope that resonated for you. Yeah, I'm okay. I whacked my foot. I hope that made sense. I hope that was helpful. All right. Louise, you're next, right? Yes. Yes, Louise is next. Okay. All right, Louise, let's see. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Which cards? This card? Okay. We're using, both of these. Oh, all right. Okay, Louise, we are using the Gaia Tarot, and we're going to use the Gaia Oracle for you as well. Okay. Louise, and then Ethereal Moonlight, and then I think that'll be it, because I haven't heard from Capricorn Sun. So Capricorn Sun, if you want one, please tell me quickly. Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up after Ethereal Moonlight. Okay, Louise, this is for you, and then we'll do Ethereal Moonlight, okay? Dodi's page. I hope that made sense for you. Louise, this feels like it's coming from a specific guide of yours. They are not sharing who they are. They say that you will know who they are. That was very super clear. Okay, you have, oh my gosh, a nose. There goes the nose. You have the Seven of Wands, which in this card, they don't necessarily follow directly the traditional tarot. So I'm going to do a couple more. 616. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay. Intuition, card number 22. Any more? No. Okay, we're moving to the Oracle now. I'll get all three of these and then we'll bring out the message, okay? That guide for you, Louise, it feels like a masculine energy that stands over your right shoulder. Ooh, wow. I got lots of chills. Like, this guide is, you've got to be familiar with this guide because he is really intense. In a good way, but really intense. Like, there's a lot of energy. It's interesting because, like, the chills are going across the top of my back. So maybe you feel him when like across the top of your back and like up the back of your neck, because I'm feeling that too. Wow, it's intense. That's awesome. Okay, what else do we have here for her? It's a lot of energy. It's starting to make me shake. He feels like a higher dimensional being for sure. Okay. The flame tree, the start of something new. Well, that's really interesting because look at this. This Seven of Wands, look at how he's a tree and see the flames on it. Oh my gosh, on his shoulders. On his shoulders. What was I just talking about? And then we have intuition. This guide is like, okay, he might show up to you as an owl or a cat. I'm really drawn to it's interesting. I was looking really closely at the owl and I wanted to say he might show up as, I was feeling really strongly the cat, but it might not be a black cat. It might be like a brown and white cat. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Start of something new. Oh, this guide is when you're in meditation, and notice how there's a serpent around his neck. There is something that is wanting to transform, and while you're in a meditative state, you're getting these they're more than nudges. He's not being very subtle, but I feel like either you're not fully trusting it or it's causing you maybe a touch of anxiety. There feels like there's a little bit of resistance there. Like, see how her head is kind of covered? That feels like a bit of pulling away from the message. Nervous energy. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's this new beginning coming. Look at how much fire is behind it. Like, that's a lot of inspiration. That's a lot of, but it is a lot of action too, right? So I can see where that could cause that nervous energy of like, I know I'm going to need to take these steps, and man, it feels kind of overwhelming. This guide is also saying to you that, but he's here to help you. And I know he's pushing you hard. It feels like he's pushing you hard, but he's right there to help you the whole way through. He's saying that, like, his job is not to just deliver this message of this is where you need to go, this is what you need to do, or let me rephrase that. His job is not just to be the initial kick to get you started. His job is to stay with you through this process. He's not going anywhere. He's there to help you the whole way through. However, it requires you to open up to him fully. And it's interesting, though. He's saying he understands that it takes time to build that relationship. So it's not anything to rush. But he's here to let you know that he will be with you through the process. And he understands the nervousness. And he's also saying this is something that you do want, which is, he's saying why he's here to help you. And it's something that is important, which also can add to that nervousness, right? When it's something that is really, really important to us, then it has a lot of meaning, and it can feel, there can be nervousness because we care about it. It's important. It has great value to us. So we don't want to lose it, and we don't want to do it wrong. But he's saying you can't get it wrong. You're not going to get it wrong. But he is saying that when you're in meditation, it's interesting how different these two cards are, and yet they're both kind of in this meditative state, except she's not meditating. She's like kind of hiding away. Oh, so he's saying to be, I feel like you go into a meditative state, and then it's almost as if you see how she's pulling this over her head, this like pelt. It looks like fur. It looks like an animal skin, like a pelt, or fur shawl or something over her face. It's as if you go into a meditative state, and then when he comes in, sometimes there's a veil that gets pulled across in between you. So he's asking you to have awareness of that when it happens, and then to consider why the veil is there and how you might remove it, because he wants to speak clearly to you. And I'm getting a sense of summertime in this card in particular. So it feels like there's a sense of like things coming together in summer of next year. Oh, I turn away too much. Yeah. And see, that's kind of what she's doing here. Yeah, that's what he's saying. But it's okay. It's okay. He's also saying that, yeah, it's a lot of intense energy. I would do a lot of grounding before he comes in. What else is he saying here? Oh, this is really interesting. He's saying that it might be helpful for you if instead of being, I know he's shown still in meditation, I almost get this sense that this card, that this being is similar somehow to this guide, because it almost feels like this is the guide connecting to you. What was I going to say? Oh, because his energy is really intense, it might be helpful and help you to process his energy and be in it a little bit longer without turning away. If you're doing like either a moving meditation, like walking, right? But of course, without music and just allowing yourself to connect with him, or in the shower where you've got the cooling presence of the water, not that it has to be cold water, but you've got the presence of the water, and that kind of softens the intensity. And it looks like trees, but it kind of looked like falling water back behind him. But yeah, they kind of have like, I don't know if those are raindrops or what that is in the middle, but it reminded me of water. Anyway, that's what he was saying, to connect with him in the shower, and it helps to, or in the bath where, you know, or maybe by the water, but being in the water feels like, at least initially, it would help you to diffuse his intensity enough that you're able to soften to it and open up, and it's more like a gradual connection with him than instead of this overwhelming, like when he connected with me, like this rush of energy where it has kind of a startling effect. So connect with water. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. All right, I hope that was helpful. That was really fascinating. He is quite the, oh, you don't like the messages? Oh, is it because they're a lot? Because it doesn't feel like anything, I mean, it doesn't feel like anything negative to me at all, but then I don't know what the messages are. Although, of course, when we're being encouraged to have a new beginning, that's scary. That's scary, regardless of what the new beginning is. It can be very scary, for sure. He does want you to know that you have his help. Yes, ethereal moonlight, you are the last person. I've done everybody else, right? Strong and intense. Yeah. Be by water, in the shower, in the bath. It will help. It just helps make the entrance of his energy softer and more gentle. And I think that will help you, especially as you start to understand how to work with his energy so that it's not so intense. And doing it in short doses too. Like, the movement would help as well, because then you're actually transmuting and moving through his energy constantly instead of just sitting in it. So movement, I think, would be really helpful. I mean, if you swim, maybe that would be good too. You're welcome. You are very welcome, Louise. Okay. Ethereal moonlight. It is you. It is your turn. And you are the last one. Okay, so let's see. What are we going to do? Which deck? Oh, okay. Mystical moments it is for the tarot, and for the oracle. Oh, you are so welcome. Hello, Moo. My animals are like, why have you not fed us? They're just a little spoiled. Just a little. Okay, and wisdom of the oracle for your... Yeah, Karen in Ethereal Moonlight said water has consciousness, trust its messages. Yeah. And it'll help. It serves as like a buffer. It's like a buffering solution for the intensity of his energy, Louise. It may help you to translate it too, like they were talking about. The dark what? The dark finds you? I didn't feel that guide was dark. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about something else? No, something else. Okay. Well, and then that may be why he's coming. He does feel like a protector energy as well. Yeah, ethereal moonlight. That's a great idea. Ground yourself outside in the early sunlight. And maybe that's why he's coming through so intensely too, so that he can help with your energetic boundaries. Yeah, he feels like a warrior. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, the sun. It feels like he will help you with your energetic boundaries so that you are if you come in contact with any energies that are of a darker nature, I guess is the best way for me to put it. Accept my gifts. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Well, and that makes sense as to why he's helping you with energetic boundaries as well then. Because as you're opening to your gifts, it can be, that can be a time when we encounter, I don't know how to describe, I guess I want to say like lower vibrational entities or energies, and it's a matter of learning our energetic boundaries, how to protect ourselves, how to cleanse ourselves, how to cleanse our chakras, and how to move those through and not allow them to attach. And part of that is recognizing that you have the power yourself to do that. Like acknowledging and accepting your own personal power to choose and to protect yourself and to transmute energies like that. So, but that is, yeah, spiritual bath. Yeah. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. You're doing great though. You are. You're doing great. Okay, ethereal moonlight. All right, what am I doing here? All right, let's start with the tarot. You're welcome. Oh, we have strength. Strength again. We're going to do and temperance. These are some powerful cards here. This feels like having strength, ethereal moonlight. This feels like having strength to surrender to the balancing of something, the flow of something. Oh yeah, yeah, because then we have the Three of Wands. Okay, let me do one. Yeah, so allowing yourself, tapping into the inner strength you have that is based in your faith. We talked about faith in accordance, in association with the strength card earlier. So tapping into your inner faith and trust and allowing that to be embodied as strength, as your willpower, as your dedication to something, or being dedicated to that trust and that faith, in the balancing with the Temperance card, and doing that because you ultimately, you know, something is coming in you have made the choices, you've made the decision to put you on the path that aligns with this outcome, whatever is represented here in the Three of Wands, which is something coming to fruition, something coming in that's new. But again, something you've made choices to move towards. And now you're at a point where you've laid the groundwork energetically, and now it's a matter of allowing it to come to you. Excuse me. Trusting in the flow of things, because again, this is you in this balanced place. The Temperance, in the traditional tarot is associated with a balancing of water and fire energies. And that's what we have here. Interesting, because the Three of Wands is a fire card, but it always, in the traditional tarot and in this, it's often represented by somebody waiting at the dock or at the beach for their ship to come in. So there is a water element to it. And speaking of that, and then your oracle is card number 29, and it's breathe. And look, she's sitting on like a lily pad with lotus around her. And in that space of just being centered and at peace and breathing. So I get this sense as, work around water as well. Yeah, working around water would be good. Absolutely. Breath work too is what I'm getting, ethereal moonlight. When you're feeling those moments of, I kind of get this sense of, it's not fully impatience. It's a little bit of like impatience mixed with like a little bit of anxiety. When you notice that, doing some breath work is going to help too. Like, what kind of breath work are we talking about here? I'm getting like alternate nostril breathing. If you know that technique, that helps to, that makes sense, because we were talking about balancing out the water and the fire energy, and that helps to balance out the hemispheres of the brain, and it really helps to integrate the internal energies, and it soothes like the mental space, the thought space. If you're having anxiety, doing breath work is going to help a lot. And I'm finding myself like rubbing this golden sheen obsidian. So maybe carrying a worry stone as well. Obsidian would be good because it helps to ground. What else? It feels very straightforward. Let's see if there's anything else, though. I feel like I'm missing something. That's why I'm kind of pausing. Is there anything else? What else? Okay. We're going to do a Life Soul Vision Oracle, because it feels like there's something. Your guides aren't pushy. Yeah. No, they feel very subtle. They feel very subtle. So that, I got major chills when I said that. Yeah, so that's another part of that too. Like, I see. Okay, so, they're waiting for the right moment to come through. That's what I was just about to say. Like, you have to be in a certain energetic space in order for them to come through. And so being in this balanced place, right? Having faith and trust in that, in your inner knowing, right? Here's you waiting for them to come through. But with this, it is kind of a sense of anticipation. But the breathing and being balanced is going to open up your energetic body, your field, to allow them to come in. Very interesting. I knew there was something else I was missing. Okay, hang on. interesting. Okay. Do we need another one? Yeah, okay. They feel like they're right on your periphery. But yeah, they're very subtle. Yeah, oh my gosh. So we have enlightened and exhale. You're just talking about breathing and enlightenment. And this is card number 29. And check this out. This is also card number 29. Look at that. And they both have to do with breathing. Yeah. And so the first card that came out that I was kind of like, I'm not sure. It says karmic cause and effect. Now, I don't feel like I'm reading this intuitively. And look at all the water, first of all. I don't think we're talking about karma here. I think we're talking about the cause and effect of, like there's like a sense, well, there's a sense of something rushing in and knocking something over. Well, it's not falling over, but there is a sense of it. Maybe that's what they're trying to not do, is rush in and bowl you over. But that's not what I was getting originally. What I was getting originally, so maybe there are layers to this, was that the cause and effect of, it feels like confirmation of what was already said, the cause and effect of your frequency and being in a certain frequency that allows them to come in. You know, they can only come down so much, right? We have to raise our frequency in order to be able to communicate more clearly. But look at all the water and the waves. Yeah, it feels like I'm getting like waves of the negative ions that you get off the ocean that help to calm and soothe and like bring your energy field into kind of a coherent unit, is what I'm hearing, so that it is easier for you to receive. Because it's almost as if with the anxiety, it kind of it's like it sends little packets of your energy out in different areas, and so it's not coherent within itself, if that makes sense. So that's part of the need for the breathing as well, and that why they were talking about the alternate nostril breathing to help unify the hemisphere, or sync the hemispheres of the brain, and clear out that anxiety. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I got dizzy one time. They all came through. Yeah. Though I guess that's that rushing in, that they are another reason why they need you to be in that coherent space so that you're able to receive them and not feel overwhelmed. All right. I hope that helps. I hope that helps you guys. Oh my gosh. How long have we been on here? We've been on here a long time. Thank you all for staying with me this long. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you've been here the whole time. It's been almost 3 hours. I had no idea. Is it really? What time is it? Yeah, that's right. Wow. All right. I hope that helped. I hope that helped you guys. I'm sending you all lots and lots of love. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for hanging with me this whole time. If any of you guys came on later and missed the initial channeling, go if you're curious, if you're interested. The 9 brought through a message, so that'll be a little bit earlier on in the live, but the replay will be available. I don't think it takes very long for YouTube to make that available on the channel. I would say probably within an hour after we're done here. Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure I will be back very soon. I am taking tomorrow off, and so we won't have a video tomorrow, but I hope everyone has a wonderful solstice and surrender into the darkness and trust in the uncertainty. Trust in the process of what is revealed when the light comes. So yeah. Oh, love you guys too. Love you guys too. Thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all are the best. What else? I think that's it. Seems like there was something else I was going to tell you guys, but now I can't think of what it is. If you guys haven't checked out the membership, check out the membership. The link is in the description of all the videos. If you guys are interested in that. Members, we are going to have our call on Monday evening. So, if any of you guys are interested in joining there, check out the link. It's on the website, on my website too, which is galactic-intuitive.com. And if you guys have any questions, you know where to find me. And I think that's it. Thank you. Love you guys. Sending you lots and lots and lots of love and so much gratitude. Y'all are the best. Have a good night. I'll see y'all later. Going to have some chocolate. Awesome. Thanks, Dodie's page. Thank you guys. All right. It's one of those things like who's going to hang up first. All right. I guess it's all on me, right? All right. You guys have a good night. Sending you lots of love. Take care. See you next time.